This week, our record store tour is Stanley Marketplace. Now, actually, didn't even know I would be finding a record store, and it was a pop-up. It was a complete surprise, and so there was just some phenomenal stuff. But obviously, you're going to watch and you're going to see as I go through these bins. But it was really good. Most of it was new, but there was some used, and there was some heat in that used, some really good stuff. So take a look at this flip, and then I'll talk a little bit about Stanley Marketplace and this pop-up, along with some albums that I used to have and I brought back into my collection. Here we go.
So then she'll be like, okay, I know what.
So Stanley Marketplace. Stanley Marketplace began. It was part of. It was a manufacturing building during World War II. They made. It was part of a big complex making planes for the military, and I believe what they made in that particular building was the seats that went into like the fighters, and they show pictures of. I mean, they actually had samples of them around the building. Fascinating place. There's over 50 different places in there. Couple breweries, which was nice. A lot of eating places, and then just a lot of boutique type shops. 2 floors. A lot of different things, anywhere from books to toys to clothing. It was great. And so we just went there to see what it was like. I'd read about it, heard about this, so I was shocked when there in the middle was a pop-up. So I was talking to the person that was running it, and the pop-up was from Wax Trax. If you remember, I've done another pop-up with Wax Trax. I also went at the Denver record convention, whatever. A booth I went to, I found some great stuff at Wax Trax. So they have a lot of heat. And she was saying they just came out there. There's only been out there a couple weeks. But their hope is, they have the space and they're going to keep it through February. And if it goes well, they're going to stay out there and just have another record store. And so Wax Trax has opened a few different ones. There's one on Broadway now. There's their main one, which I'm not even sure what street. I haven't done my tour there yet. And now this one out there. And there was some stuff I really wanted. There was those Joy Division bootlegs that really had me interested. But for Record Store Day, I'd already spent a lot. I'd already bought a couple box sets. I actually showed self-control. My wife says, go ahead and buy a record. I says, the record I want is going to be $100. Oh, is it? Yeah, it is. So it just wasn't right for me to buy something there. But great spot. For anybody, if you haven't been to Stanley Marketplace, if you come to Denver, Stanley Marketplace is a great place to go. And I put footage in there you could see the actual mall. And but there's just a whole lot of great things happening. And there's some good beer. But I do have 3 albums that I've brought back into my collection that I will show you. These are ones I used to have before the flood. Finally have brought them back in. First one is Peter Gabriel, self-titled Peter Gabriel, and this is his first one. Rain or Man in the Windshield, I'm not sure. This one came out in 1977. It was his first solo album after he left Genesis. On here we do have Salisbury Hill, which is still one of his most popular songs. So I'm really happy to find this. And on Atco, and the inner sleeve, scary kind of look. Have that, 1977. The next one I brought in was Peter Gabriel. Melt is what they call it. It's self-titled Peter Gabriel, all for his first 4 albums. I guess we were having a hard time with titles or just Peter Gabriel being Peter Gabriel. But this one is affectionately known as Melt. This is best known. It has Games Without Frontiers, which I think is one of his very best songs, and Biko, which I just love to death. So here we have, and this is on Geffen Records. And the inner sleeve is a white And there we have the lyrics. This is my favorite of the Peter Gabriel. I also have his fourth album, but I do not have the second one, Scratch. I'm just kind of scratching down. That's the one I'm missing. But I really have the three I really, really want. So that was great to have. This one came out in 1980. So the first one 1977, this one 1980. The other thing I brought back into my collection is Herbie Hancock's Future Shock. This has, of course, Rocket on there, which was one of the craziest, still one of the craziest videos I've ever seen. It's so good. This came out, I believe, in 1983, if I remember right. And it's on Columbia. And anything inner sleeve is just a white paper. This was the first Herbie Hancock I ever had. I had no idea who Herbie Hancock was when I bought this. I just saw that video and thought, wow, that is really neat. No idea it was considered jazz. The Rocket, I still, just like, is that really jazz? I don't think so. I don't know. But I loved this album, and it was just fun to listen to. So I finally, and this is easily available, and so finally this was a very nice copy. I thought I need to bring this back in to get Rocket, so I have that. So 3 albums I brought back into my collection that I used to have. So if you're in Denver, those are in Denver or in Colorado, Stanley Marketplace, you probably know about. You've probably been there. They now have records. And you can see there was a lot of people there when I was filming this. And they were young. I by far was one of the oldest people there. I think there was one person that looked older than me, but otherwise there was a lot of younger people shopping, which was exciting to see. Again, this is not... This collecting has a whole new generation of people buying records, which is what we need to keep it going. So thank you for hanging out with me, and I'm going through another record store tour. I don't know if I'll have one next week. I have no plans on going to a record store. It's that time of year. But I've gone to a few of these. I haven't bought a thing. I actually do have self-control. A little bit. Thanks, everyone, and hope to see you Sunday for the Early Morning Sunday Show. Bye.